Comrade General, a major GLA cell has taken hold on Balaki and driven the citizens from the city. Our American friends have agreed to help us in our quest to rid the world of the GLA, destroy the city, and crush the GLA like insects.
American bomber, we have you on radar. Proceed to target. China Command out.
Roger, China Command. This is Bravo 19er Heavy. Attack vector plotted and laid in. Target on radar. China Command, permission to proceed with attack runs.
American bomber, proceed to target. China Command out.
Roger, China Command. Bravo 19er beginning our run. Cover your ears, boys. It's gonna get loud down there. China Command, Bravo 19er. Mission accomplished. Catch you on the flip side.
We have big plans.
Check with the airfield. The US has granted
China
us
will
use of
grow
their heavy
larger.
bombers. Use them to
So,
drive the GLA
yeah,
to
the
landing spots before
one
we
of
send
the
you
gimmicks for this map
The
is
GLA is entrenched in the city.
the airfield lets you call in carpet bombing.
It's time we
And
corrected our mistake.
basically, whenever you normally call in off-map airstrikes like that, the aircraft you get is really strong and tough. And for some reason they decided for this mission they were gonna make it like paper thin armor. So whenever you call it in, one of the like dozen or so Stinger sites that are scattered all over the map is just gonna blow it up. So it's actually pretty pointless.
Now the carpet bomb, that's usually U.S. Attack, but for this mission specifically, you get it as China, right?
It's not actually a US thing. In this game, it's only ever used in this particular mission.
Oh.
Pretty sure.
Interesting.
Yeah, and in Zero Hour, they actually made it a general's ability for the Chinese.
Oh, okay.
We have
Yeah, so
big
carpet
plans.
bombing is actually a Chinese thing in this game.
Fair enough.
We'll tear through their armor.
Yeah.
Looks like-
So,
Tear through their armor. Tank hunter here.
you were
I
saying?
was gonna say, it looks like the MiGs are gonna run straight into that building as they come off the airfield there.
Yeah, thankfully the this game doesn't do collisions for aircraft or units in that way at least. I mean, we're gonna have some fun with collisions later on in this mission, but it won't involve MiGs.
Adjusting gas valves.
Upgrade complete.
And yeah, one of the nice things about a lot of the general's missions, I think, is that they have the courtesy of starting you out with some buildings and units, so you can get started more quickly. And yeah, so this is the first gimmick for this map, or like the second gimmick, the first being the carpet bombing. The GLA has these little production buildings all over the place, and you have to take them out because they will be constantly producing units and sending them towards your base.
So it's just a task of hunting them all down and destroying them throughout the city.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, it's not even a mandatory thing. You can just go straight for the enemy base, and as soon as you destroy it, you win the mission. But I like being completionist.
No, I get you. I do the same thing. I used to like to hunt everything down and destroy it before I completed the objective.
MiG in flight.
Yeah, you want to be thorough. I mean,
Exactly.
any commander could be doing just the necessary minimum to pass, but it's that extra effort that gets you an A+.
There you go. Going for that extra Christmas bonus. That's how it works, right? Your bonuses are determined by how many people you kill.
Yeah, by the way, the third gimmick for this map is there's invisible barrel bombs all over the place. And they're really, really, really fucking annoying. Because there's only 2 units we have access to that can detect invisible units. One of them we'll build later, the other one is the troop crawler. And basically what that means is in order to maintain proper security, you need to advance with your units in front and the troop crawlers right behind. And this game does not do formation movement well at all. And yeah, this game just has huge issues with pathfinding for vehicles in general. And we will see a lot of it. Like, the other problem is this map is just a big city, as you could tell. And that's just gonna compound all the
We fight from high place. China's needs.
all the pathfinding issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will see a lot of pathfinding issues later in the in this map.
Now, all those barrels, invisible barrels, is that something that they just put in for this mission, or is that something that the GLA can do normally?
It's something the GLA can do normally, but this mission just has a gimmick focused around them being fucking everywhere.
Lost.
Stand them up, ready for action. Serving China's needs. China.
Yeah, also one thing that is worth mentioning is Red Guards are pretty much the best way to destroy Stinger sites, because they will fire a few shots and then the guys inside the Stinger site will actually die.
Right.
Lost.
Enemies on the stage.
Yeah, the other annoying, like one of the many annoying things about this mission really is you have these technicals, they are set to patrol roads, and they will not stop.
It looked like the
So they will
the technical that blew up and it landed on a guy and crushed him then while it was dead.
Well, I didn't see anything of the sort.
And ready.
Yeah, well, anyway, as I was saying, basically these technicals they will do unintentional hit and run attacks all over the place simply because they're set to patrol and they will not break their patrol under any circumstances.
Let's pick up some goods.
Which isn't a very good patrol tactic when you think about it.
It really isn't. But I guess in this case it works out. Also, hey there, this guy. This is the best unit in the game, or at least one of the best units in the game. The Overlord tank. If you can tell, it's a big-ass tank with 2 big-ass cannons that do a lot of damage. And it is so big that its gimmick is, or one of its gimmicks at least, is the ability to straight up mount a building on top of it. And I mean, this is not just mounting some downgraded mobile version, it just straight up is the building.
China's Air Force.
So yeah, we can mount all our defensive structures, the bunker and the Gatling cannon, as well as the speaker tower, which we haven't seen yet. But basically what it does, it gives all the units in an area health regeneration, which is really, really good, because it means when you're creeping around and clearing out the map of the pre-placed enemies, you don't have to worry about chipping damage eventually wearing your units out.
Yeah, I remember when I played the game, my armies, once I got them, my armies were mostly consisted of the Overlord tanks.
Yeah, basically
Where is the battle?
the later Chinese missions are all just build 4 to 6 Overlords and walk over the map.
I mean, they're this game's version of the Mammoth tank.
Don't stop till it's over.
Pretty much. The other thing about them is that if you mount the Gatling cannon on top of them, since it is just the Gatling cannon that you would normally build, it also has the hidden unit detection. So for this map, that means that the Overlord tank actually doesn't need troop crawlers to see the hidden barrel bombs.
Which is nice considering how fragile the troop crawlers are.
Yeah, I mean, we lost one like 5 minutes into the mission or what.
Let's get out there. Next up, the front line.
Now you were saying earlier about how a lot of the missions start you off with a base. I found that's something that a lot of more modern RTSs are doing. You know, you used to go into a mission, even early Command & Conquer games, you'd have just an MCV and a couple of troops, and you'd go in and you'd start your base from the ground up. And a lot of games I've been playing through the latest StarCraft 2 expansion, even when you go in to establish a base, they do a cutscene and they throw up, you know, the startings of a base for you. I think they've realized that that's a pretty boring part and it's a slow way to start the mission off. So I think it's a good decision to do it that way.
Yeah, I mean, what happens normally is that the enemy already has an established base, so from a developer perspective, you either like make the AI docile so it doesn't go after you with everything it has right from the beginning, because you wouldn't survive that obviously, or you set up like little training period or base building period where just nothing happens and the AI doesn't attack you or anything.
Right, like a period where they don't know you're there.
Yeah, something like that. Just to give you time to build up your base.
Crush. It won't be long.
But it is slow when you do things like, because like in, you know, you spend the first minute of the game just waiting for your command center to be built because it takes so long to build. And that's just not a very fun way of doing it.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, we'll see it in some of the missions in this game, but yeah, it does make an appreciable difference in how long the missions take to get going.
Keep the cylinders
And
oiled.
yeah, this is basically just me trying to find a barrel bomb, because I saw a notification in the upper left that an invisible unit was revealed, and I couldn't find the barrel bomb.
Gatling tank, ready for action.
I am.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, like, one of the really annoying things about the bombs is that even when they get revealed, your units don't actually react to them. So sometimes you give like an attack move, and a bomb gets revealed while they are moving towards the target, and they will just happily drive into the bomb, no problems.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest thing about this map, is you constantly have to babysit all your troops. You cannot move anywhere at all without having to worry about about tripping into one of the 5 billion barrel bombs that are all over the place. Like, look at this. There's 2 right next to each other. Who put those there?
Let's get out there.
Yeah. No, I feel like if they're revealed, your units should treat them as hostile enemies and just attack them when they're revealed.
Yeah, they really should. Also, that's some great pathfinding AI.
The troop carrier?
Just drive. You have a troop carrier. Just drive into the enemy, right? Don't you?
And drive backwards too. That guy loves reverse.
Adjusting gas valve. Next up, the front.
Yeah. Did he mix up his panel?
Can't hide from me.
Also, they put the barrel bomb right next to their defensive structure. Who does that?
Unload. Take it into high gear.
And artillery strike, because I can't be bothered dealing with any more enemy units spawning from that building.
Blame you.
Let's get out there.
And random patrolling tank out of nowhere.
Ready for action.
And another one, just for good measure.
Now, does this game, when you have a group of units, do they all move as slow as the slowest unit? Did they implement that in this game?
Yes.
No, they do not.
Okay,
that's something that only
MiG in flight.
really caught on in the years after General's release. There is, however, a formation move where I think it was Control K. If you press that, then your units will actually stay in a formation.
Keep the cylinders
And it's kind of tedious to set up though, so nobody ever uses it.
Let us get closer. Keep
Like,
it steady.
hell, I don't think a lot of people even know it exists because it's mostly because it's one of those things you have to look up in the manual.
Right.
And
We are moving.
in 2001, who does that anymore?
Maintain a smooth ride.
Yeah, I had no idea it existed. So.
Set them ablazing. Get into high gear.
Yeah, this is a really obscure function, like.
Adjusting gas valve. Need a bullet barrage.
And yeah, as you can see, the Overlord tanks just do not care about Stinger sights. They just, as soon as they get in weapons range, the target is basically dead. Unless it can drive away, because that's the Overlord's one weakness, is that it is slow as hell, and that's actually a major problem, as we will see in the final mission, not so much in this one, because the enemies here are just sitting around, and I completely forgot about those guys.
Right away.
Unit
Gatling
lost.
tank, ready for action.
Poor worker.
I built for China.
Also, this guy can't build anything because there's this technical running around and he just destroys a building as soon as he puts it up.
Let's build.
So this is like the CNC General's equivalent of a guy just driving through the neighborhood with a baseball bat, knocking people's mailboxes over.
Okay, here we go.
So you want to build something there? Nope. Gonna shoot it with a single bullet.
Everything ready here.
Yeah, he's also one of those patrolling guys, so, you know, he just drives by and drives away, and as soon as you put up the next building, he comes back around. And if you're like me and you have a big tank army, you're not gonna drive over there and kill him.
Right. Not worth
So
it.
that's why MiGs are really nice, because they can just be anywhere.
Maintain a smooth ride.
Or like when you have these rocket buggies shooting at your defenses from outside their range, you just call in an airstrike to deal with them.
Aircraft standing
Which
by.
they apparently love to do. That no matter how many times you kill that rocket buggy, he keeps coming back.
Yeah, it's one of those expansion bases that's spitting those out. The AI in this game is really, really simple. Like, it's not really so much an AI that you would expect from an RTS game, and more
Steady. Let us get closer. Keep the
more
cylinders
akin
oiled.
to an RPG where you have enemy spawn points that you need to close up.
Right.
Move those bells. Spin them up.
Yeah, because that's really what this behavior is. An enemy just spawns from a building and drives straight towards your base.
Let us get closer. Gatling tank, ready for action.
So yeah, it does pay off to kill these expansion bases in this map.
Rapid fire.
General, there are 3 targets remaining.
Do they have a lot of risk of being rebuilt?
No, the AI does not rebuild them. Also, that's some amazing pathfinding right there.
Keep the cylinders oiled. Fighting for the Red Army.
Yeah, good job, guys. Just pile all into that one alleyway.
Tanks single.
It's hard to get those massive tanks between the buildings. They take up 2
Yeah.
lanes, don't you know?
Yeah, and then they decide to just drive around the entire goddamn city block.
Shot barrel spinning. Okay, here we go. Spin them up.
Yeah, so those rocket guys actually do quite a bit of damage. Those goddamn barrel bombs.
Gatling tank, ready for action.
Yeah, those rocket guys actually do quite a bit of damage against Overlord tanks, so it does pay off to have some Overlords with Gatling cannons to deal with those.
Need a bullet barrage.
Like, I usually go for a 50-50 mix on
Set them ablazing.
when it comes to Gatling cannons and Spikatawas.
Well, and the Gatling cannons can attack. Are they anti-air as well?
Yeah, but like I said, it's just these, everything the building does, this thing does as well.
So, you know, the tank is obviously anti-armor and anti-building, and then you have the Gatling gun on top going anti-infantry and anti-air. So it's got all the bases covered.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about Overlords. So they're a really good all-around unit. And one thing I did show off right there was the flame wall ability of the Dragon tank. But the guy actually died before I could really show it off, so that's unfortunate. It is kind of useful. Like, people have pointed out to me, because I've been ragging on it previously, but people have pointed out that it is actually pretty useful, and after testing it out some more, I do agree. Whenever you have like massed infantry, the flame wall just does a really good job of just clearing out everything in front of the tank. Yeah, it's just it does take a while to set up, and seriously, who places those?
Right, we are moving.
Yeah, so it does take a while to set up and really get going, but once it does, it basically makes an area completely impenetrable to infantry.
Right.
Goddamn barrel bombs. If that Gatling tank wasn't at 3 stars, he would have been
Goner.
he would have been dead.
Army. Gun barrel spinning.
Yeah, that's the annoying thing. If you don't have just a complete army of only Overlords, you always run into this issue where you guys are separated from the detectors, and then you just run into some barrel bomb that you didn't know was there, and then that's like 3 tanks gone.
Everything ready here. Keep it steady.
Yeah, it sounds
It's
like
like-
a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it's like the one suicide unit that is actually really good at pissing people off.
Ready for action. Move those bells. Keep the bullets
Like, the terrorists and whatnot, you just blow them up long before they can get to you, but these things actually... God damn it! These things are actually have a decent chance of getting at their target.
Yeah, because you're not, I guess here you're expecting them just because they're everywhere, but usually you're not expecting them.
Because nobody builds suicide units in this game.
Keep it steady.
So here I'm trying to show off the flame wall ability again, but the Overlord actually beats the flame tank to it. And that's the, out of the, what was it, 16
Right here.
red guards I had at the beginning,
Dragon tank.
this one guy survived.
Well, he can go capture
The
those
two-
buildings down there.
Yeah, that's actually the thing I wanted to make sure he survived for, because there is an optional objective to capture those things, and I want to get them.
All weapons.
And here's the other new unit for this mission, the nuke cannon. It's the Chinese advanced infantry, not infantry, artillery. It's pretty much exactly what you would expect from a name like nuke cannon.
Pretty badass.
Overlord is waiting.
Yeah, the downside is that it is really slow, unmaneuverable, and if an enemy unit so much as looks at it, it immediately explodes. And here I remembered, hey, I can build hackers and I have a bunch of money.
Objective sighted.
That's kind of a problem with these campaign maps. You just reach critical mass with your Overlord tanks. I already have more than enough units to clear out the map,
China's Air Force.
but the money just keeps piling on.
Enemy underground.
That's the problem I always had in multiplayer RTS is that, you know, the idea is that you should never have a stockpile of money. I should always be building units, but I could never keep up with that.
What is
I just don't have the APMs to be able to do it. I'm a bad.
She's fragile.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. It's why I really dislike
is waiting?
these games move away from
I will crush.
the sidebar interface.
Oh yeah,
Control.
yeah. The sidebar
because-
was amazing.
I will crush.
Yeah, because it meant you could just micromanage your unit, and if you saw that your queue for production stuff was up, you could just queue up some new ones without actually having to go back to the base
In our way.
and finding a production building.
We will be generous.
And in this game, you could technically hotkey certain production buildings to get something kind of like that, but it's just not nearly as convenient.
It's not as elegant as the sidebar.
Yeah, also, one of the problems on urban maps of nuke cannons is sometimes they'll set up in front of buildings like that, and if they fire, the nuke will hit the building, explode, and blow up the nuke cannon. Like, that is a thing that happened to me on my practice run.
Oh, so it like the projectile that it shoots can actually hit buildings on the
Yeah,
way.
Yeah, it does actually do collision detection. Also, you gotta admire that one rebel who's going up against the Overlord
Oh, yeah.
tank by himself.
Better be good. This is the
Yeah, I'm sure his
Be generous.
his AK-47 is gonna make all the difference.
The speaker's gonna heal faster than the AK-47 does damage.
Well, yeah, he's negating the advantage the Overlord gets from the healing effect.
This is the Overlord.
Look, warheads
tank.
preserved.
system is safe.
General, there is one target remaining.
What is that other? So you have the two oil rigs there. What does the other structure do?
The oil refinery, it just makes vehicles cheaper,
Okay.
and it's gonna be very helpful in lessening the costs of all the zero vehicles I'm gonna build from here
Oh yeah,
on out.
of course.
What do
That was always like in Red Alert 2. I always had to capture all the tech structures that I could, whether I was going to use them or not.
Yeah. Also, come on, guys, you were just sitting there next to a barrel bomb, and you did nothing. Come on. Like, pay attention.
What do you need? It won't be long.
Like, you see, this is exactly the kind of thing I talked about earlier regarding going the extra mile. These guys are just in it for a paycheck. Yeah, if you don't order them to destroy the barrel bomb, they're not gonna do it. They don't care.
Extra large.
We bear gifts.
They're not the type of workers you want.
It
Need
is
someone self-motivated.
Battlemaster tank reporting.
Yeah, these are just clockwork.
in a moment.
No, yeah, like, these guys just go on the clock, they do their jobs, and nothing more. Yeah, and then they go home and share a beer with some GLA guys.
Control.
Storage tanks sealed.
We will be generous.
It's like they go to work, their enemies, they come home, they're friends. They're like, yep, that's the working world.
Oh yeah, yeah, the economy being what it is.
Gotta do what you gotta do. GLA guys are the same way. They're like, I'm sorry that I set up all those barrels all over the city. They, they paid me to do it. So that's how that works out.
Well, you know, we had a new manager, and he said that barrel bombs were really the way to go. What the fuck was this guy doing?
He was going the extra mile. See, that's what happens.
Yeah, was he trying to do some kamikaze run on the GLA base? What?
China's needs. We have exhausted the supplies. Tactical fighter reporting.
Extra large.
And I'm really paranoid about being on those train tracks because this game has a train that is scripted to appear at some point. I'm not sure what it is that makes it happen, but basically the train, when it appears, it is a huge asshole.
Fighting for the Red Army.
I don't know, like train versus Overlord tank. I think the tank might win.
Unit lost.
And by the way, there was a GLA soldier right there. The Overlord shot it, and the splash damage killed the nuke cannon.
And the nuke cannon released radiation.
Yeah, in case anyone is wondering what that yellow goop is, that's supposed to be radiation. It does damage to infantry if it moves through it. Tanks generally don't care.
I have China's blessing.
Not when they've got a speaker tower on them.
Serving China's needs. We will defend this.
Yeah. Also, the barracks in the GLA base is scripted to always build 2 terrorists and send them at you. And it's always 2, no more, no less. It's like the Sith.
General, there is one target remaining.
One terrorist master and 1 terrorist apprentice.
And they both get mowed down by a Gatling cannon.
Oh, there's
But
3.
yeah, I
over
decided-
there. Oh boy.
Well, those were pre-placed. But yeah, I decided I was not gonna have any of it, so I just blew up the barracks with my new cannon.
That's the way to go.
We defend China's airspace. Target's location confirmed.
And here I decided that, oh, by the way, the train is here! And destroying the cart makes a bunch of terrorists appear and fuck that tower. That is, by the way, a thing, in case you didn't know, in this game. If towers fall over, they will crush units underneath them.
Yeah, that was demoed in the, I think it was the very first mission, but I don't see how you could actually use that to your advantage.
Yeah, they did it in a cutscene in the tutorial. But I was just, I think it bears mentioning that it's not just a cutscene thing they did that one time, but it is actually a thing that normally happens. And yeah, something that you should that is also worth mentioning regarding trains is that anything they come in contact with in their hitbox dies instantly, and the train takes no damage. So it could run through a dozen Overlord tanks and not care.
That just seems odd. This is like...
Yeah. Yeah,
what kind of train is it?
Yeah, that train's fucking indestructible. Like, it has more health. Like, it's... You saw what the Overlords did in terms of damage.
Oh yeah, almost nothing.
When we fired it, like, that thing was tougher than the fucking command center. Yeah, but on the topic of running things over, the Overlord actually has that ability too. It can run over vehicles if it can ever be bothered to actually catch up to any vehicle close enough to be able to crush it and also not kill it before it gets there. Because that's usually the problem. Anything dies before you get a chance to crush it.
Right.
And the second chair?
Of course.